Hello YouTube, and welcome to episode 2 of Stevetown. I think we can officially call it a series now, but I'm pretty sure 2 counts as a series anyway, I don't know. I'm calling it a series. It's official. Stevetown episode 2. Could start off by saying a massive thank you for all the support and encouragement on the first episode. Even the guy who said I sound incredibly unenthusiastic about everything. That is unfortunately just what I sound like, basically. So, you know, you could say maybe you shouldn't be doing YouTube if that's what you sound like. And to that, I simply don't have an argument. So yeah, that's basically the deal with that. As you can see from this footage at the start here, I have been quite busy, and I'll give you a little tour of everything that I've been up to. But we are going to start off with a little time-lapse this time around, just a time-lapse of a coffee shop, which I actually saw on Instagram. I follow quite a few of these accounts that are like Southeast Asian, Japanese and Korean street photography, often with a kind of architectural focus or infrastructural, because there's just a lot of beautiful architecture and infrastructure in Japan and Korea. And they often have these really cute little commercial buildings, and I saw this one and thought, oh, that would be really nice in Stevetown. So yeah, we've just got a little time lapse of me attempting to put that together, and while we watch that, I'm just gonna kind of chat the breeze a little bit about the project in a general way, because I didn't really say that much last time about if there's what the ultimate goal of this whole thing is. Really, obviously it's inspired by my old project World of Steve. The idea really was to take inspiration from an old project, but without having too many restrictions in terms of, you know, it's like set during this particular time period, or the park had this kind of budget, or bloody bloody blah. Like, that stuff is great and really is a really fun and interesting way to build a park. But I just kind of wanted to throw all that away and just take World of Steve as a jumping off point and sort of see what happened. And that was the intention to start with. I will show you later on that the more I've worked on it, the more I've started thinking about, you know, how the layout might have evolved over time, why certain things are placed in certain areas and that sort of thing. But to start with, the seed of the idea really was just to take this old project and kind of cherry pick little ideas from that project and then reimagine them with the kind of skill set that I've got now versus what I had, you know, 6 years ago or however long ago it was. So that's been the basic idea. And there's also a bit of a theme of kind of repurposing old buildings and ideas that I'd had in failed park projects and giving them new life, which I think is always good to do. And there's like zero shame in bringing, if you built something in an old project and you're really happy with it, I don't think there's any reason not to kind of repurpose that for a new project, because it's so rare that you're really happy with something that you make in this game. So it's good to give life to old things and not just let them sit in old files. And that's like why I gave the stately manor to Jonty for Pinewood Hills, because otherwise that was just going to sit in that park project and, you know, never see the light of day again. So yeah, this project has been about kind of, it's all about reimagining old ideas, giving new life to old ideas, and giving some of these ideas one last little moment in the sun before Planco 2 comes out later this year. And generally that's just really inspiring, I find. Rather than just having a completely blank canvas, it's fun to look at an old project and imagine how you would approach an idea, you know, a second time around in a different context. And it's also the classic thing of limitations breed creativity, which is also why, you know, when people do story parks that are set in a certain time, or, you know, the park has this XY budget and it's set here, putting those limitations on your project at the start is a really good way to inspire yourself, to force yourself to come at the project from a sort of problem-solving point of view, which, I don't know, I generally find that inspiring and motivating, and I guess other people do as well, because that's why we use these methods to start projects. So yeah. Anyway, now we are going to jump on over into the actual park and have a little look around. Okay, so here we are in the park file. Starting back at the entrance where we started last time, where not a lot has changed. And this time, instead of going left, we are going to go right, because that's where all the changes have happened, basically. This little bit of path here between the entrance and this area over here is obviously still unfinished. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, to be honest. I mean, it's just going to be a path, isn't it? Let's be real. But am I going to make it interesting somehow? I don't know. That's a problem for future me to deal with. But yeah, so first thing up, we've got a little mine gluten hut, which is in a kind of vaguely Germanic style to go with the mine gluten. I think Idro made these signs. He almost definitely did. Idro made most of the good TMTK pieces. So yeah, we've just got this little kind of lakeside food kiosk. It's very low key, and a little glimpse of the new carousel here, which is also kind of lakeside, and it's got absolutely stunning views of the purple and yellow Ferris wheel for everyone to enjoy. And then coming around here, we've got the Woody, which obviously was there last time. It's now looking a little bit more shored up. And this new carousel cover, which is in a kind of rustic, almost like a sort of craftsman style. The overall shape was vaguely inspired by an image I saw of a building. I think it was at Magic. What's it called? Animal Kingdom is the name of the park I was trying to think of. Animal Kingdom, the Disney Zoo. I'm just going to call it Zoo. The Disney Zoo in Florida. Yeah, I think it was a picture of a building at Animal Kingdom. And it's not a carousel cover or anything, I don't think. It just happened to have this kind of overall shape to it. The shape with this kind of arched like frontage, which then goes off. That's what the inspiration for that was. And then it's all just kind of... I really love this effect that you get when you've got this huge tree cover across a path like this, and you get this lovely kind of dappled shadow and light effect covering everything. Just makes it feel so cozy. On the right here, we've got Sally Ann's Cafe. And the idea with this place is it's just kind of a rustic little quick service restaurant type situation. You know, you can come in here and have a sandwich or a hot meal. Obviously, I'm not building any interiors in this park because I cannot be bothered. I'm stuck on the roof again. It's classic. Classic Tejicam, stuck in the roof. Actually, while we're here, I can show you what I meant about this roof. So it's just this overall shape that was inspired, really, by the Animal Kingdom building, and then the rest is just off the top of the noggin. Anyway, Sally Ann's, yeah. This is just a little cafe, quick service cafe type situation in a sort of rustic... It's not really craftsman, but it's, you know, it's kind of in a similar world to the carousel cover. And my favourite thing here actually is this little back area that I did with the lights strung up from the tree and some pot plants, and you can just kind of sit back here and eat your lunch. And it's just a nice, I was going to say it's a nice little quiet corner, but this coaster behind is actually kind of loud. Yeah. And then obviously the other main building on this little kind of junction that we've got here would be the coffee stop, which you saw in the time lapse. A couple of notable things here are that I actually lowered the height of this top floor. It was just feeling a bit top heavy. And I think it just feels slightly better balanced now. And then the major thing really is that I made this, in the time lapse, that I made this awning using art shapes, and I've obviously now remade this using custom TMTK pieces that I made. Because I just feel like there's a severe lack of like reasonably scaled awnings. Like you see awnings everywhere in theme parks, because they're just kind of part of that like turn of the century Main Street architectural style. So you see them everywhere, and they're just kind of lacking in the pieces in the base game and on TMTK. There are a couple of good ones, but yeah, I wanted to make these, so I did, and I'm probably going to make some more. I want to make some that are kind of flatter shapes, smaller and bigger ones. I might remake these in like half the size so that they could go on this top floor as well. But yeah, the idea with this place is really that it's just kind of a Starbucks-esque coffee shop. You know, you can get a coffee to go, or you can sit down and have a donut as well if you're, you know, whatever. And And then we've also got a little gift shop here. I think maybe these are kind of connected on the inside, as these sorts of things often are. This is just a simple little gift shop building. And then the entrance to the carousel is over here. That's the deal with this little square here. And then we've got this kind of kids area, kind of gentle rides and children. It's basically children's rides over on this side of the park, in this little corner back here. And yeah, the idea here I think is basically that originally this area was basically where this concrete pad is. And maybe this midway stuff would have just been covering the gap here between the toilets and the entrance to the Woody. And basically the park has kind of picked up this wacky worm and this little couple of flat rides, and kind of padded this area out into a small kind of like children's ride area to give people, families a way to just come into the park. If they just want a gentle, quick experience, they can come into this corner. You can have something to eat, you can go on a couple of chill rides, check out the Ferris wheel, and then most of the more extreme stuff will be over on the far side there. But yeah, so we've got this is a great little TMTK piece from the workshop, this ladybug ride here. So I think that looks really cool, and we've got this little mural in the background that's all made with art shapes. And I'm going to just say, we've got a patch of grass here. I know that's incredibly exciting. But I do think that it's like, in parks, like real parks, all the time you will just see like patches of grass, especially in, more kind of local parks or national parks rather than like the big chain kind of theme parks. But like trolley parks and amusement parks, you quite often will just have like patches of grass. So I very specifically just wanted to leave this as a patch of grass, and obviously there's a bit of dirt in the corner there where the drain runs off, but that, I don't know, I was weirdly excited about just leaving this as a patch of grass. And then we've got the wacky worm, which I made this fun little sign for, and I made this TMTK apple piece because I tried making this apple out of art shapes and it just looked absolutely garbage. So I hopped into Blender and smashed that out quickly, and I think the overall effect is really good for this. I just think wacky worms are so fun and funny as a concept, and because there's not much else in the park at the moment, the guests absolutely love it. And yeah, that's kind of, there's not too much else to say about this area. We've got some little squids on the splashing squids in the queue area here. It's just simple stuff. And that is basically most of what I've got to show you. Oh, actually, something that made me laugh is I did put a broom on this roof here, and this was because I was on a double-decker bus the other day sitting outside a train station. I looked out the window and there was a mop on the roof, which made me laugh, and I was like, I've got to do that in my park. So we've got this broom on the roof here. Why is it up there? I don't know. Perhaps a frustrated janitor tossed it up there in a rage. And obviously this backstage area is very incomplete. I can't really complete it until I know what's going to happen over here. But yeah, we can also see the... because I've got this invisibility mod on, you can see inside the staff room where they all just kind of become one and stare into the corner. Anyway, I think that basically covers all of the additions for this week's episode. Next time we're going to be probably finishing off this area here and adding another, like a big ticket ride of some sort over here. Maybe this Pinfari that Emacs made. Maybe something else. I'm not exactly sure. I need to figure out some sort of light thematic thing for this area, I think. Because as much as I love making everything look generic, I think I kind of want to find a new hook for this area over here, this new area. So I need to think on that and figure out what that is. If you've got any suggestions, just for any sort of theme, just throw any theme at me. Sorry, that's terrible, isn't it? Yeah, I'll think about it, and that's going to be that, isn't it? But yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. I think we'll finish up this time with a little POV of the wacky worm. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will be back for episode 3 now that this is officially a series. Hope you have a wonderful day, night, weekend, month, year, life. Thank you.